Good afternoon, this is Rob Newska with Next Truck Sales, and I want to introduce you to our 2016 Peterbilt 579. This is equipped with a Cummins ISX engine, 450 horsepower, with an Eaton 16-speed automatic transmission. I'll take you for a walk around. See, it has, this is a combination. The Pete 579 is got an aerodynamic hood with the old Peterbilt sleeper on the back. So if you look at that, you'll see that sleeper is very similar to the old Peterbilt 379 and 378. So it's a 70-inch Peterbilt sleeper. You'll notice on the side of the fairing, you're going to see that little black sensor. I'll go over to that and explain to you what that means in just a minute. You'll see it has aluminum wheels, wide base tires on the back. They save you 200 pounds in weight, and they also give you incredible fuel savings because you're not trying to rotate 200 pounds of weight. Picks up approximately half a mile per gallon just by adding those tires on. You'll see it has a sliding Holland 3500 fifth wheel on there, and you're going to see that we've got full chassis skirts. We've got an underslung exhaust. There's no tailpipe on the back of this, nothing to look at. And this is really an aerodynamic truck, so it's not about trying to have fancy looking stacks or breathers on it. It's really about making sure that this thing is going to give you the best fuel economy possible. We'll go back over to that sensor really quickly. This is part of the collision mitigation system, and if you look here, this is a Bendix factory installed system, and you'll see it's a Bendix blind spotter. And what this does is when you go to change lanes, much like you'll see on some of the newer luxury cars and even some of the cars that just have higher option content, it's going to tell you that there's a vehicle there so that you don't crash into it if you're changing lanes, because this doesn't have the windows, so obviously it's hard to see if there's a car there in the spot. You'll also see it has a front sensor, and that front sensor, the license plate is going to mount down below, and the sensor here is going to detect vehicles in front of you. That will allow you to run the vehicle in cruise control. If you try to change lanes, it's going to beep at you. If you have it in cruise control and the vehicle in front of you slows down, it's going to slow the truck down. You can put it in cruise control and it'll keep a safe distance between the vehicle in front of you, and it'll accelerate when the spacing is acceptable, and it'll slow down if the spacing is too close. So we'll take a look inside the cab here. As we come up, you're going to see we've got shore power. The shore power, if you plug into here, it's going to give you voltage throughout the cab, through all the receptacles that are there. We'll take a look inside of here. See, we got power locks, power mirrors, power windows. This truck has 823,000 kilometers, and you'll see it's got Bluetooth audio. It's got a fairly high option content. We've got a obviously the engine brake, cruise control, a fan override switch, air conditioning. We've got diff lock, sliding fifth wheel, suspension dump, and we've got lighting for the back. I'm going to fire this up. I haven't done this quite right. There we go. Okay, so it's going to go through its safety checks, checking over everything. And you'll see collision mitigation system installed, meaning that it's telling you that it detects that that system on the outside is present. You'll see here that we've got a little red light flashing, and that's going to detect, like I said, it'll detect if there's a vehicle there. If I put my turn signal on and it's beeping at me, you can tell that there is or isn't a vehicle there. Let me take you into the back of the unit here, get a good look. It is 2 beds. It's a 70-inch sleeper. It's got the premium insulation package, and you'll see some of the features that we've got in here. Let me turn on some lights so you can see better. So we've got an inverter, and I'll pop up the bunk and show that to you in a minute. We've got an S-bar heater, and that S-bar is going to heat the bunk only. It's not going to heat the engine coolant, and actually this looks like it's interlocked into the key, so we're going to have to turn off the key to get that to come on, so I'm not going to bother with that. We've got your radio controls here, and we've got some lights, and we can lock and unlock the doors from this switch here. You'll see in the cupboards we've got a writing table, which is great. And push that back. We've got some secure storage down below here. This one seems to be a little sticky, or maybe I just don't know how to do it. Come back to that in a minute. We've got another cupboard here. We've got a second bunk up top. It folds up out of the way because this is a mid-roof, so it doesn't really have the overhead height that you would normally expect, but this is nice that it does. I'm going to back up and give you a better view, and you'll see that because that second bunk folds up out of the way, that it actually allows you to sit down on there without beating your head on that. If you don't need the second bunk, you can just fold it up out of the way, and if you do need it, you're just going to pull this grab handle, and it'll release the bunk, and it'll come down for you. If you take a look up here, that shore power that I showed you earlier, plugged in on the outside, will give you 120 volts at that spot there. And come over here, and we're going to have a boo. We've got another one here for a flat TV screen mount. You can see that we've got a good sized cupboard in here with a mirror. We've also got, I'm going to put the phone down for just one moment, and I'm going to pop up the bed. Handles underneath here. This is a tricky one. There we go. Okay, so if you look underneath here, you're going to see your heater box and air conditioning box. You're going to see your Webasto heater. Your air top heater is right here. Actually, this one, as I mentioned earlier, is an S-bar. And there's your inverter, which is looks like it's professionally installed, so that's great. That's a 3,000 watt inverter. And if we come back over here, you'll see we've got a fridge, which is great. We've got cupboards down below with all your factory manuals, a couple of extra fuses, and I haven't figured out how to open that, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let me get you a decent shot of the interior of this. Now I'm kind of banging my head on the ceiling here. It's as high as it goes. It is a stand-up sleeper, and it does have the aerodynamic deflector on the roof, so it's set up for hauling dry van. And this is going to go into idle shutdown. So let me snap the gas here and keep it running. Okay, this is programmed not to idle. You'll see here we've got the Eaton automatic transmission. This is a 16 speed, and we've got a couple of selections. We can put it into drive, which is 90% of the time where you're going to end up. Manual is if you are going up a steep grade and you want to downshift, and you can just push one of these two buttons in order to change your gear. Actually, I'm going to try this just for fun. So we'll put it into drive, and if I go to manual, you're going to see we can choose the gear that we want to be in. It's gonna, your gear selector comes up on the dash. I'm trying to find the screen where it's going to show. Give me one moment. Go back. No warnings, no faults. Where is our screen? There we go. Okay, so we're in first gear. If we want to go up like that, you'll see it goes into second, so we can control that. I'm going to click the button, and obviously it's going to lock out. It's only going to start in so high of a gear, but we do have the option to override manually. And the low feature is a unique feature on this transmission, and in combination with the engine brake. So if you're gonna go and put your engine brake on like that, when you turn that on and you push low, the transmission is going to deliberately try to grab the lowest gear possible, and it will use it in combination with the engine brake, and literally it'll stop the truck on a dime. It works really well when you're using it in combination with an automatic transmission. The engine brake power is a lot more than you could ever work with a manual transmission. It's just too hard to try to synchro the gear changes, but with an automated transmission, it's really good at saving your brakes coming down a long grade. You just push the low and it works like a charm. I'm going to put it back into neutral before I take my foot off the brake. If you look here, you'll see we've got, like I said, the climate control, and you've got your Bluetooth audio. You've got some secure overhead storage here, and you've got space for a CB mount, and you've got a decent amount of space here. Now, if I stand up and I walk, I'm 5'10". I got to duck down just a little bit to get through here. That you might bump your head on that if you're not paying attention. There is also a ridge on the floor where the Peterbilt sleeper attaches to the cab that you've got to pay attention to so you don't trip on it. Now I'm going to take you outside and we'll get a quick look under the hood, and then I'll finish up. I'm going to get my shoes back on. Hang on just a minute. Okay. So under the hood, I think I've already opened it up. No, I haven't. Okay. Little spot to put your foot, little spot to grab here. Goes up nice and easy. We've got a fiberglass hood here. We've got hand coupe tires on this one. This one has what appears to be disc brakes on it. And you can tell by the way that the pot is mounted differently, and yes, it is disc brakes. We've got a Cummins engine, like I said, 450 horse, and you've got the Pete low leaf suspension. You can see it's a big long leaf. It's going to give you a softer ride. Peterbilt puts a little lock here to close the hood, and when you want to close the hood, you've got to unlock that. We'll take a look over on the other side. Let's get a quick look, and you can see here, get you a good overview. And this is a 2016 Cummins, which they did some significant revisions to the cylinder pistons, whereby they put a scraper ring for oil control, and it greatly alleviated some issues that they were having with oil consumption. I think they called it carbon packing was the term that they'd used. Anyway, this truck is available. It's got 827K. We will safety certify it. We'll make sure that it meets DOT standards, and we will service it, and it'll be ready for work. We do offer exportation services to the US, so feel free to contact us for pricing on that, and certainly feel free to give us a call. Call me at my toll-free number, and we can discuss this truck in more detail. 844-489-8789. 844-489-8789. It's Rob Nuska at Next Truck Sales. Thanks for watching.